Hey guys, we just wanted to pop in real quick. There's been something on our hearts this week for marriages and families. Oftentimes God asks us to do something that seems way beyond our capabilities, and we don't think that we're ready. There's been times that He asked me to do something, and I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not prepared. I need to be perfect in this area, or I need to be better in this area before I can step out and do that. And all God wants is your obedience. And so sometimes we just have to step out and do it. We have to do it afraid. We have to do it completely unprepared, and we just have to step out and make that step to do what He's telling us to do.
Yeah, and I was reading this week in Judges, and it talks about Gideon, and it says, God gave Gideon explicit instructions, and this is Judges chapter 6. Like, God tells Gideon, tear down your father's altars to Baal and cut down these, I guess they're poles to idols, and then build a proper kind of altar to the Lord. And so he gave him very specific. He said even cut down the wood and use it for the altar. And the next verse is so important. This is Judges chapter 6, verse 27. It says, so Gideon took 10 of his servants and did as the Lord told him. But because he was afraid of his family and of the men of the town, he did it at night rather than at daytime. So Gideon obeyed God, but he did it at night because he was still scared. And God honored that obedience. There's a lot of times over the last 12 months, maybe 14 months of our life, that there's times we've obeyed God a little afraid, a little nervous, a little, almost that free fall of faith. God, I hope you're going to catch me. Well, He's caught us every time. But what the human tendency is sometimes is, well, I'm not the best version. I haven't arrived yet. I can't do that because I haven't gotten to this level yet. No, God said start now. Start in your brokenness. Start in your insecurities. Start in the messy version of you. And it's a process. Every step of obedience is that refining that God He works on us and He reshapes us and He overhauls us. But we have to be willing to do it afraid sometimes. We have to be willing to do it insecure, do it not knowing exactly how the road's going to turn out. And, it's so important to just take that leap of faith. Don't wait around. It's that Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. And that all it takes is that step of faith, that trust, that first step. Because we've seen over and over, God's blessings God's obedience to God's voice brings His blessings. There's blessing in obedience.
Yeah, I even had a t-shirt made that said radical obedience equals radical results. Yep. And all He's asking you to do is to step out and do it. So whatever it is God's got on your heart that you're supposed to do and you've been dragging your feet about, go take that step of faith and do it and walk in obedience with Him.
Yeah, exactly. And another way to look at this is also for your marriage. A lot of times we say, okay, I can't. What if I'm the only one that's fighting for my marriage? What if I'm doing it by myself? Or what if my husband is still doing it, or my wife is still messing up, or I'm still hurt and I'm not ready to forgive them yet? Sometimes we have to let go of the illusion of control and just be willing to take that step of faith. I may be the only one working on my marriage, but sometimes that's enough. That one step of obedience to God saying, hey, you got to forgive your spouse. That one step, okay, God, I give you my hurt. That one thing can be the catalyst to, and it's like a cruise ship. Cruise ships don't make U-turns. They slowly over time begin to change, and that's one step at a time. And so you might be in the middle of the biggest mess of your life, and you can't wait till you're 100% healed. I can't wait until my marriage is the perfect version. There's times that we get disconnected. We can't wait till we feel connected before we go on another date or something. We have to start with where we're at. We have to take that huge leap of faith with our marriage, the most important relationship we have after God. And sometimes it also means we get hurt deeper than any other relationship because it means more to us. And so don't be unwilling to take that leap of faith in the middle of your hurt, middle of your frustration. Even if you're the only one in your relationship taking that step of faith, do it. Don't wait around. And so try that this week. Be willing to radically obey. What did this shirt say again?
Radical obedience equals radical results.
Absolutely. So if you want radical results in your life, in your marriage, be radically obedient.